everyone, this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. I am continuing my 2021 floral design series with another arrangement for you in celebration of Mother's Day. I'd first like to take a short moment of your time to invite you to visit the channels of some lovely creators. They have put together a collaboration called Say It With Flowers, and they've been kind enough to invite me in this collaboration. Now, these ladies have participated in a giveaway for all of you viewers visiting these special videos. You'll need to watch all of their videos and comment Cricut, that's C-R-I-C-U-T, for each of their videos, including mine. But please look in their description box for more information regarding rules and dates on the giveaway. I will also have links to each of their channels in my description box, so please look there as well. Now, participating in the giveaway are Dee at Designer's Loft, Lady Phoenix at Really Good Living, Lisa at Lisa Burmingham, Antoinette at Simple Yet Chic, Teresa at Our Green Acres, Shelly at Pretty Inspired Decor, Wendy at White Sparrow Living, and Sue at Discovering the Art of Living. I would also like to make the disclaimer that I'm not part of the giveaway, but make sure you do put Cricut in my comments below. I am just participating by sharing a special video today and giving them a shout out. So please check out their channels, subscribe, and give them lots of love. Now, back to my project. Alright, so I'm going to be doing my video a little bit different. Normally I tell you what all the supplies are before I start doing my creation, but today I'm just going to go ahead and just start creating and just tell you what I'm using as I go along. So first, I've got a nice big vase here. I thought it was super beautiful. You can choose, of course, any vase that you like. I was going for a very different look as far as a vase is concerned, but I saw this. This is actually a candle container here. It is lovely. I found this at Marshall's and I think I paid $13 for it. I first picked it out thinking, okay, I may use it for my arrangement. If not, it's beautiful just to put a candle in there. When I brought it home, my husband thought it was just the most beautiful thing ever, and he said, yes, make your arrangement in it. So I got a really good encouragement from him. I'm going to start by putting some styrofoam in my arrangement. Now, I could use a nice tall block that'll go all the way in there and just glue it at the bottom, but I'm going to be doing what I've been doing lately and then just adding the styrofoam to the mouth. Now, I want it to be nice and tight, so I want to go ahead and just trim a little bit off of this block of styrofoam, and I just want to trim off on the edges and do very little at a time. So I'm going to do the little corners here with a little craft knife or a little steak knife. Just cut away at the corners. Start giving it a little bit of a rounding off, and I'm going to be measuring it as I go, and right now it could go a little bit deeper, so I'm going to go ahead and shave off a little bit more. Okay, this is fitting in nice and tight, so I'm going to push it in as far as I think it'll go. I don't want to overdo it. There we go. That is good. So now what I want to do is I want to apply some glue to make sure that it doesn't come out. Alright, so I am just using some hot glue for this. Alright, so now that I've added glue, I'm going to let that hot glue dry really well. And then I'm going to use my little knife to sort of level off the styrofoam. It doesn't have to be perfectly level because it's all going to get hidden away. So we want to cut at it, slicing in so we don't have this part protruding. And of course, you only do that if you do have this bit protruding out too far. Alright, so after you've cut all your styrofoam and trimmed what you need to trim off of it, if you find that you have too big of a gaps on the sides here, go ahead and take some of the styrofoam, and if you need to cut off pieces, like shave them off to fit in, go ahead and push them in nice and tight, and also add some glue. I'm not going to do that because I feel it's perfectly enough styrofoam here for me to work on. So there's my work surface. Now, this is completely optional, as you could take some moss, whether it's some green moss or some Spanish moss, and then cover the most of your styrofoam. But you want to do really on the sides, not to worry about too much on the middle, because a lot of that will get covered with your greenery and your flowers. So I'm just going to spread it out a little bit, and then I'm going to be tucking it into those little gaps a little bit here. And I'm going to be using these Greenery pins, and I've shown these to you in my previous videos, so I hope you've been watching. And I'm going to use that to attach my moss, and I'm putting the pin in from the sides because I don't want any pins up on the top. Now, it doesn't matter if you do get some on the top, that's fine, but I want mine on the sides. Okay, so now I'm going to add some more moss, take some pins to grab onto both ends of that moss. I have just enough to cover that one last bit right here. So as you saw, I'm not using too much moss on my arrangement. I'm trying to tuck it in there, but I do want to make sure it doesn't come off, so I'm adding enough pins. All right, so now I'm just going to trim around it. I think I maybe used 4, maybe 5 pins to put this together. Okay, that is good. That's all I'm going to do. So we're going to go to the next step. The arrangement that I want to create is an asymmetrical design. So I'll be starting off with some height on one side, flowing downward to the width on the other side of my arrangement. I want it to be very whimsical, very light, airy, but I also want it to have a look of elegance to it. And I think the vase and the flowers that I've picked are going to be perfect. So let's get started with the focal flower. Alright, so I have picked these roses. Now if you're curious, I got these roses at Hobby Lobby. I pretty much got everything at Hobby Lobby. The only items that I did not get from Hobby Lobby are my ivy bush and this little bouquet of flowers, which I found at a local floral party shop. So just look for your flowers wherever you're able to shop at, or if you want to do that online. Alright, so I'm going to start with these roses, and I'm going to start off by deciding the height. Not the overall height of my arrangement, but just the height of what will be right here centered in my arrangement, because all of this will be full, and then I want this all to be very light and all this to be very light. So I'm going to choose my first flower at about this height, and I like to hold it at the edge of the table so that I can move my stem up and down and decide where I want it. And the highest that I want, I believe, is right about here, which is right under this little leaf here. So this one, I'm going to remove it, and I'll probably hot glue it at the top here somewhere. So I'm going to cut here. Now this has a very thick stem, and I'm going to see if I can cut through it. Well, yes I can, and I can tell you that because I have some nice wire cutters, so you want to make sure you have that. Now stems like this that you've cut off, you might want to save them. You could use them for something else, maybe add length to another stem. That would be too short. Okay, actually it has a little spot right here where another leaf can fit in, so I'm going to add that leaf in there. A little bit of hot glue. Now this arrangement is going to be going on a desk in my entry, and there will be a wall right behind it, so this is not going to be a centerpiece. So I'm going to place this flower a little far back here, push it in, and then I'm going to fold this just a tad like that, to get it to be seen from the front here rather than way at the top. So that's what I want. Let me center this, and there we go. Now normally I work on an arrangement and I'm looking at it as I'm looking at it from the front, but because I want you to see what I'm doing, I'm turning it around and I'm working backwards. Alright, the next flower. And the center part of my arrangement, this is going to decide how far out I need things to go. This one as well. Let's remove all these little tags. Alright, so this one's going to be a lot shorter. And I want it to be about this height. So I only need enough of the stem so that I can insert it into my arrangement. So I'm going to cut it there. And what I'm going to do is if any little stem is sticking out a little bit too high from the next leaf down, I am going to trim it right there. And then I'm going to give this a little bit of a height here so that I can use this leaf bit here, create another stem out of that. And I can use it in my arrangement, all right? So I have all these leaves down here. They might get hidden, but I want to be able to see some of these rose leaves. So I'm going to put this one right kind of on the side and have these flowers come in front of it and underneath it. Okay, let's add some glue. And then we're also going to insert this flower And I'm going to do it at an angle, kind of sideways and forward. Push it in a little bit more. I want it to be further in. And bend it. There we go. And of course I want this one, and I actually want this one just a tad lower. So we're going to cut it even shorter. Now you're probably looking at this and going, oh my gosh, what beautiful stemmed roses, and you're cutting them so much. But you know what, guys, I think this arrangement is going to be beautiful, and then you'll see that all this was worth it, because you're going to end up with a beautiful arrangement that you're going to enjoy. All right, I'm going to cut this one as well so we can use this little stem of leaves. And I'm having a little bit of issue with it. There we go. All right, I want this one here in the front, going the other direction, opposite from this one. Now, if for some reason you can't push your stems into your styrofoam, the styrofoam's kind of hard, just kind of dig a little bit with some pointed scissors and start off the little hole to push the flower, because we don't want to push the styrofoam too hard, because remember, the styrofoam's not going all the way down to the bottom. Of course, if you put styrofoam all the way to the bottom, then you don't have the danger of it flopping in suddenly. I'm going to add this leaves right here in the front, and I'm going to put them where they're facing upward like that, rather than doing this. And I'm going to put them in at an angle. And that's going to add a lot of light right here. And forward. So I have these beautiful rose leaves right here. And this is what I start off with, is a triangle always when I'm creating an arrangement. So I do like to use odd number of flowers. Okay, you saw me doing this. All I'm doing is just kind of bending them a little bit more, because I want to open up my arrangement a little bit more and not have them too tight together, because I will be adding other flowers within. Now what I want to decide is the overall height and how much I want it to come out as far as my width is concerned. So I'm going to be using this particular branch here with these little berries. I need to remove all these little tags. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these shorter branches off. This one and this one here. I think I'll leave all of this. And I want my arrangement to be tall off on one side and then go this way and down. So my height, and I want it to be pretty high, so I'm going to go like this. And enough of it to go into my styrofoam, and that is where I'm going to trim it. And there's actually like a little bit of a joint here. There we go. Where I can kind of cut in. There we go. There we go, right there. And this is going to be placed in there, you know, towards the back. And off to the side. There we go. You see that? And then I'll just bend it so it doesn't go, you know, it doesn't flop backwards. So that's what I did. I placed it back behind this rose here, but off to the side. All right, so I can now use these to fill in other spots, but I'm going to save this shorter one. And this one I want it to kind of come out this way. So I'll go ahead and add some glue. I need to trim off any little bits that are on it that don't look nice. Like right here, I think maybe some little bits are missing off of it. So I'm just going to cut those pieces off so they don't look bare. All right, some glue. And I'm going to go under this rose right here. Always making sure that I know my front. Okay? And centering that. Okay, this will be coming out like so. So here we go. We've got a beautiful height flowing downward out to our width over here. And now I can start filling in between. All right. I'm going to add these little berries off to the side over here. There we go, like that. And I've got these little wispy bits here. I also want to add those, and these are also going to be adding a little bit more height and maybe a little bit more length to our width. All right, so I want to cut off the lower branches. There we go, this one as well. Let's take take those off. Oops, got this one a little bit tangled up in here. There we go. This is nice. I love the height. So I'm just going to cut off enough to insert into our styrofoam. All right, let's put that right in next to that other branch that has those berries. And as you can see, this adds a lot more height to my arrangement. And of course, I'll move the camera later so that you can see the full height, but we'll continue working at the bottom here. All right, so I went ahead and I moved the camera a little bit so that you can see more of the height of the arrangement, which is way, way up here. You still can't see quite all of it, but I think you can see more of it now. All right, so now I'm going to add another one of these little branches that match this one, and I'm going to kind of bring it out this way a little bit, okay? Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I want to bring it out this way to add to the length over here. So I'm going to pop it in right here, and then I'm going to bend it downward a little bit. Just kind of let it curve off here. Let me turn it around so that you can see right here where it's curving. Right there. All right. And I do have this one here, and I'll put this one coming out this way. Let me think. I think I want to put it over here instead. And I'm going to way in the back here. There we go. Turn it around so I can look at it. Nice. Okay. Now, and I'm not quite adding these other flowers yet because I wanted to add all these little branches because I wanted to see what height I wanted. Now I'm going to work here in the middle of my arrangement, and I'm going to take this little lovely little bouquet. Now I'm not going to use all the flowers that are involved in this bouquet. I just wanted to use a few of them because I wanted more of this ranunculus, but I couldn't find it, and probably now they've stocked it up. But at the time that I was able to go shopping, forgive me, I've not been well. I've been struggling a little bit with some things, but I'm doing a lot better. All right, so I found these at another floral store. As I mentioned, it was from a little party store, and I thought, well, these are beautiful. I don't know what they are. They sort of look almost like the ranunculus, but they're more of like a cabbage flower maybe, or cabbage rose. And I wanted to use these smaller flowers. So I'm going to take out the larger ones because I've already got quite a large flower here. But see how I have these smaller ones here? Now, if you know what the flower is, let me know. All right, let's take out these little bits that are holding it together. So I wanted to take these little flowers and fill in different spots here on my arrangement. So I'm going to start off with one in the front. So I'm going to cut it short so we can start filling in at an angle going in so that you can see it from the front here, and then just kind of bend it a little bit. I want to put another one a little bit higher right next to it to create a little cluster of that particular flower right there. And if you have lots of them, you can do like little clusters of 3. Okay, let's put that one a little bit more this way. There we go. I'd like one to kind of pop out here at the bottom. So let's cut that. And I want it to just kind of cradle up next to this rose right here. All right, one more of these. I'll use this one. It's a little bit bigger, but I'm going to put this one with the long stem like that because I want it to kind of reach out all the way over here. Let's get that in there. Sometimes you have to move the moss aside a little bit if it's in your way. All right, so I'm going to bend it and have it come out. There we go, just like that. And I may have to almost twist it around this berry stem here, but I don't want it to really like cover the berries too much. Okay. All right, so this is what it looks like in the back in case you're curious right now. And this is where this little stem here, this one is coming out. And I'm going to be looking at it, and I love it so far. Everything's fantastic, looking how I want it to look. All right, so now I'm going to use this other ranunculus, this stem here. I want to use these flowers because they're just a tiny bit smaller The colors are all kind of tying in everything. This kind of has this darker pink in it on the little edges, and it has some of this more peachy, salmony color on these flowers. So they're gonna pretty much tie in the colors together. And this little stem does not want to let go of my hands. All right, so now what I want is I'm going to take these 2 clusters right here. Let's take these leaves out of the way because we won't need them. I could save them for some little corsages or something. But I'm going to take these 2 little stems and the clusters that they're in and insert them into my arrangement. This one's taller, so I'm going to use this one right here to fill in this space right here. And I'm going to bend them forward just a bit. And then I want the other one on this side right here to fill in this little spot. Right there. Bend them a little bit. You see that? Oh, I think that looks so beautiful. Let me look at it because to me it looked beautiful from behind, but yes, I love it. It is doing exactly what I want, creating a cluster of flowers here, a height, and then a length going this way. All right, all that description just to do what all this that I wanted to have. Okay, all right, so now I have these, but I'm going to save these. I think I would like them to be kind of be clustered here in the front somewhere. And I'm going to save them because I'm going to go ahead and start adding this wispier branches, this greenery here that looks like olive tree leaves, sort of. That's what they look like to me. I don't know if that's what they are, but that's certainly what they look like. I'm going to cut a nice long piece. And I just had my other one fall up. That's okay, I'll pick it up. Okay, I'm going to cut one of these long pieces, and I'm going to add it right here to add that, you know, that dramatic length that I want. Now, if it's too long this way, push it in further into the back of your arrangement. So I'm kind of almost reaching over to the other side to insert it back here rather than way over here on the edge, just so it's not laying on the table so much. Although I do like that look of, you know, some greenery kind of laying on the table, you know, if you're going to add some, if it falls on the table. That looks really nice, but we're going to go ahead and skip that in this particular arrangement. And I just want it to just fall. I bend it. There we go. Want it to fall in just like that, just sweeping a little bit of the table. Okay, so let me get some more pieces, and I'm going to cut shorter ones because I don't want them to be as long as this one. Or at least I don't want them to reach down all the way down as that one does. Okay. Let's perk it up a little more. There we go. And I want to put this one coming out of the front here. I think I'm going to have to sacrifice that one little leaf at the bottom so I have enough stem to put into my styrofoam. Okay, and this is so pretty. I love the way they just kind of fall. So I love that. Okay, so now I want to add some bits over here. So I want to add some much shorter ones so they don't drop so much. Let's see. Let's try this one. See if I can get it to stand up and not drop so much. And I'll have to sacrifice some of the little stems at the bottom here so that I have a stem to stick in there. Okay, this is going to droop downward. I can already see that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it and just kind of intertwine it into this other little branch here with the berries. And if I have to, I'll add a little dab of glue, which I think I will, onto one of these little leaves that's touching the stem of the one with the berries. And I'm just going to glue it back there. Not too much glue so it doesn't show. All right? So now I've got some of that beautiful greenery like this one over on this side, and I can add a little bit more. And I have some little bits here where I can actually have this help me hold it up. So let's add a little bit more. I love this greenery. It's so pretty. All right, so I'm twirling it around this little stick here. There we go. And in order for it to stay, I'll add a little bit of glue. A little spot here, glue those together. And then I've got that there. I've got these little cute little wispy little things that were coming out of this. They kind of fell out, so I'm gonna find a place to put that in somewhere in my arrangement. But let's go ahead and go on to the next greenery, and I dropped that, so I need to go around the table and pick that up. Alright, so I've already gone ahead and I've prepared the other greenery. I've gone ahead and I've cut off the stems off the bush. And then I've cut off some of this ivy as well, some short stems of that long ivy. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, I pretty much got all of my flowers and my greenery from Hobby Lobby, and I did make sure that I went when everything was 50% off, so I had a really good savings. The only thing that I did not purchase at Hobby Lobby, it is a local store, so if you do live here in the Rio Grande Valley, you can visit Lee's Floreria. They have lots of beautiful selections. So I did get the bundle, the bouquet of this kind of cabbagey rose or ranunculus, I'm not sure what it is, and the ivy bush. I got those there, but everything else, like I said, is from Hobby Lobby. But you can shop at Walmart, you can shop at Michael's, you can shop online, or if you have local hobby shops or craft shops, grab them from there. Even the Dollar Tree, you guys, they have some really pretty flowers that you can work with. All right, so now I'm going to add this greenery. This, I believe, is going to add lots of body, so I need to add some body back here. And I want to just kind of bend these out so they kind of fan out right here. Again, another beautiful, beautiful leaf. I love it. And I think I'm going to put one more, maybe back here. And actually, I'm going to remove the bottom leaf here. I don't need that. That is just giving it some filler here, and you'll be able to see it from the front, or even like if you're looking down on the table, you can see that greenery is there. So if somebody's obviously visiting your home, they can look in and go, oh wow, beautiful. And they'll see all these beautiful flowers rather than seeing the styrofoam that's way in there. So that's what I want to cover up, and I'm going to be using these little bits of ivy, and I can push these up, actually, the leaves on here, just making sure that I fan them out. I'm going to cut them a little shorter, and I'm going to be inserting them way in there just to make sure that I am covering up the styrofoam that is showing. And if you don't have that, of course, use some moss to cover up the styrofoam. So I'm just pushing that in there, and that'll cover that up. And of course, it'll cover that little hole that you'll have there. I want to put another one over here because this particular leaf from the rose, from this rose that I cut, has a cut edge right here. Let me cut it a little bit better. You can see that little wire kind of poking out. Okay, so I'm going to put some ivy right in front of it to cover that. So I get another little short stem that I can push the leaves up on. And put it right in front. Let me turn this around so I can see. Right in front. And then just maneuver the leaves so that they're covering that kind of jagged edge there, that cut off edge, and you don't see it anymore. I don't know if it was visible to you, but I mean, I could see it. So if you can see it when you're making your arrangement, just cover up things. All right. And these are also able to push up. So I'm going to push these up. And just, let's see, I'm going to cut these individually to make shorter little stems because I want this beautiful, dark, kind of dusty green to pop out here in the front. I'm going to make one, or have one, come out right underneath the rose here. Let's get that space there. Push right in. I have this other little one here. Let's cut that off. I'm going to have it come out the side over here. So this is all you're going to do now, is you're going to take all of your greenery and just fill in some spots. You don't want to hide, like, see, back here on the side here. Well, not in the back, but on the side here, you can see that these little berries are right here. So you don't want to cover the berries. You just want to cradle, you know, that little branch that has that with some leaves. So when somebody's looking at it from the side, you'll be able to see the beautiful little berries. So we don't want to hide them. We just want to cradle them. So there's some beautiful greenery under them. Okay, I want some greenery right here. Right here. So I'm going to use another one of these. Let's see, do I need to cut them individually? No, I'm just going to stick them right in. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to just trim them off a little shorter. I don't need that whole length. I'm going to need more glue on my gun over here. Stick that right in there. Just to balance off what's over here. All right, so I feel like I need some of this ivy over on this side because I do have some over here, way in there. I want it down under here. So I'm going to push all this up and make a nice short little stem again. Let me turn this around so I can see right under here. Just feel like I need it to cradle those little berries that are right here. So they show off, so they'll pop off if you have that green underneath them. Ah, that looks lovely so far. I'm looking at it here on my camera, but let me turn it around. I think that is lovely. I do have some branches left over and I can save them for something else, and I'll save my ivy for something else because I really feel like it has enough greenery in it. I don't want to fill in with greenery this way, and I don't want the top fill in because, like I said, I want a wispy length or a height. Okay, is that enough? Have I said that enough? All right, let's go ahead and get rid of these little stems. And now I have these beautiful little, I don't know, these little pods are so pretty, and they have a little bit of a kind of a almost purpley tone to them, and I kind of like that because the vase here, the container that I'm using as my vase, has a little bit of that tone to it, so it's going to coordinate really well. So I'm going to turn this around so I can decide where I want these. I know that I like a cluster right in here, and then maybe one sticking off on the side, and then maybe the other three crowning this flower. Okay, I have to talk to myself. So I'm going to cut these a little short here, not too short. I don't know exactly how far in I'm going to push them, but I'm just cutting off some of the length here. Now I decided that I want two of these right in here. Okay, so I'm going to place one first and then the other. I'm going to turn this around. It was right here. Okay, I got some glue on my rose here. I want to make sure I don't poke myself. Now some of these have like little bits. They're like made of styrofoam. And some of these have like little ball spots. Like this one, for example, has a little tiny little ball spot right there. So I want to make sure that if I put that in there, that it's facing towards the back. Okay, this is the other one that I cut. Actually, I'm going to put this one on the side over here. I want it right here. And that one's a little bit taller, and I want it a little bit taller than the one that I put in there. Okay, let's move these leaves out of the way. Right here. And then I want this one a little bit taller, so I'm comparing it and just trimming off the little bit that I need to trim off. I'm almost done with this, you guys, so I just need to put those other three. I am very, very happy with the way this is coming out. I hope that you're enjoying this and that it'll inspire you to create something like this, something a little more grand. Look at that, beautiful. This is a gift to myself for Mother's Day. I wanted something big. I haven't had something big and grand like this in a long time. So I'm very, very, very happy with the way it's coming out. All right, I've got another three here. Now, I don't need to use them, but I want to because I wanted a bouquet of flowers right here. And I wanted lots and lots of stuff in there. I'm going to add one of them here, coming out of the front here, because I feel like it needs something right here. Like there's a lot of green there because of that rose and then the leaf and then the ivy, or the ivy. So I'm going to put that right in there. I was looking for some like asparagus or something like that I wanted to add into my arrangement. I couldn't find that, but I found these little pods and I thought they were perfect. So I'm going to cut this here now. Let's see. I said I wanted them to come out. So I want them to come out from under this rose. So let's cut these short. This longer one, I'll place it first. Place it like that. And then just kind of lead it like it's kind of flowing out that way. And then this one right underneath the rose. And that'll Feeling that little bare spot that I can see when I'm looking at it from down here. Oh, this one I need to turn it around because it's got the little bits that are missing. Okay, there we go. All right. And then just make any adjustments to your flowers. There we go. I am very happy with it, you guys. All right, everyone, I have completed my floral design for today. It is a special that is for Say It with Flowers and for a happy Mother's Day. It is my asymmetrical design here with beautiful pink blossoms and a really, really lovely container that is actually used for candles, but I used it as a vase. I think it looks super, super beautiful. It is going to go great on the table that I want to put it at my entry. So happy Mother's Day to me. So happy Mother's Day to you as well. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below with the word cricket, and don't forget to follow my friends, and their links to their channels will be in my description box below. So make sure you go and give them lots of love. So again, to you all, happy Mother's Day. Say it with flowers, and as always, enjoy.